Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's a Tuesday installment of the program. Glad you're with us. Frangie, Carline, La Selva. The new drug is a new running back room, sort of. We'll get to that in a bit. I do want to thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. Nobody does it better than Nimnick. Nobody but Nimnick if you're looking for someone to buy your car from these days. Jeff Dancer at 5:15 talking SEC football today. We're looking forward to that. Got all kind of fun stuff to do. We'll get to that. I got a thought about the Florida Gator coaching job that I'm going to get to that I hope you find interesting. I've heard a little bit, talked a little bit.
Here we go.
And I'm going to get to that.
Interesting. I heard something, too. I'm interested if we've heard the same thing.
All right.
Because we haven't talked.
No, we have not.
We just walked in here.
So we'll see if we've heard the whole thing.
Turned on the microphone.
How about that?
Yeah.
And we really have. A lot of times, by the way, it's not above us or below us to lie.
Right.
I mean, I'll lie. I'll lie just out of general principle.
Yeah. I lie for fun.
Yeah. I mean, I pride myself in trying to be a pathological liar.
I'll lie even if the truth is better.
Or more fun.
Yeah.
But I will. But within this point, we haven't talked. But let's start with Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby traded to the Eagles last night. There was a lot of debate about what it was, but it's a fifth and a sixth. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's not a fifth becoming a sixth, but I think Florio had it wrong.
Two picks.
Yeah, it's two picks. A fifth and a. There was a lot of debate. So if you're getting two picks and you now have 13 picks, and you've shown that you can find value on Saturday picks, it's a good. I think it's something good. Yeah, Frangie, you're always gonna say it's good. Well, I kind of am, but I do think that. But first of all, Tank Bigsby. What do you make of the trade of Tank and the timing of it? I got a lot of thoughts on it too. And you and I have talked about this a little bit off air in full disclosure. But for the listeners, what's your take on this?
I think it's good GMing by both sides. I mean, for Philadelphia, it's a win because Saquon Barkley is coming off a year in which he had an historically high work rate in terms of touches when you particularly factor in the playoffs, which you have to. So he could easily break down. He may not, but the history of backs that have had his workload, they break down the next year. So I think if you're Philly, you're cognizant of that history not being on your side. And Will Shipley just broke his ribs and is out for several weeks. So I think for Howie Roseman, you want to get a back in there that's physical, that if you didn't have Saquon or just to spell Saquon, Tank Bigsby can get it done, I think, particularly with that line. I mean, if Tank Bigsby has to play for the Eagles, he will put up numbers. I mean, I think he's a good player, particularly when you surround him with all of that. So it's good for the Eagles. For the Jaguars, it's outstanding. I mean, it's great GMing by Gladstone because you sort of had a good problem, which you don't often have in the NFL. You don't often have a surplus at any position, but they clearly have one. They almost have one too many good backs. Etienne, Tootin, Allen, they all look like they're good and can certainly, particularly the two rookies, look like they're going to be able to handle the NFL. And obviously Etienne's been in the league for a while now. So you really didn't have a home for Bigsby. There wasn't going to be a big role if everybody stays healthy. So to get two picks and again, two picks that, fifth and a sixth rounder, yeah, I think that's outstanding. And I mean, I can't wait for the final day of the 2026 draft, because normally that's a day where you're like, okay, let's just get this over with. But I mean, they have 9 selections on that day right now. So I think it was a great move by both organizations, and I think it's a win for Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, there's a human part of this. When they traded Luke Fortner, for Colin Saunders, part of that was you needed to get better on the defensive front. Part of that was Luke wasn't in your plans. But I also think it gave Luke another life. Luke's a good person. They gave him another lease on life a little bit. He wasn't going to play here. Probably wasn't even going to make the team, to your point that you made at the time. I think with Tank, both Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby had both done things in their past to make it, to allow them to believe they were going to be RB1 here. Okay? They both had done enough in their past. Travis Etienne, a very big part of that special season 2 years ago, a very big part of it, and a first-round draft pick and a guy who'd done a lot of good things. Tank Bigsby was a guy that looked like in some minds had moved past Travis. And I know that probably means in his mind had moved past him, was a better downhill runner, was clearly going to be their kick returner if he was here, a more physical runner. So in Tank's mind, I might be moving ahead of him. In Travis's mind, I've had a great camp. I might be keeping it. So, and you add 2 rookies to the mix who they like. It was going to be hard for everyone to be happy. My guess is that Tank Bigsby not playing very much on Sunday was probably hard for him. Now, I haven't talked to Tank. I haven't been around Tank. I haven't talked to anybody who's close to Tank. I don't want to misrepresent this. But I know that both he and Travis, that playing time, being the star, being the RB1, being high in the rotation was going to be important to them. And so if you're Tank Bigsby and you weren't going to be that, and now you land, you're still not starting, by the way, but now you're backing up maybe the best back in the league on maybe the best team in the league. It gives you a new life. So it's an infusion of life for Tank, who probably, I'm guessing, wouldn't have been super happy being way down in a rotation, because part of this is how much they like Base Tootin. Don't kid yourself. This isn't just about Travis Etienne. They really think they have something in Base Tootin. We had this conversation 2 or 3 weeks ago when Liam Cohen said, look, we're probably only going to dress 3 running backs. So which one do you not dress? And you and I go back and forth. Which rookie was it? Was it Allen? Was it Tootin? Which one was not going to wind up being dressed? And I said Tootin, and we went back and forth. Well, Tootin was the closest to not being dressed Sunday because he barely played. Bigsby played a little bit. Neither one of them played a lot. But Bigsby between returns and one. So the point is, you had to figure that out. Now I think you've got a situation. Now you got to stay healthy. And I wonder where Jaquindon Jackson falls into this, the rookie, undrafted rookie who's on the practice squad. But now the rotation makes sense. Travis Etienne is your starting running back. Bashil Tootin is your backup every down running back and the better downhill runner of the 2. LaQuint Allen is your third down back, which we saw on Sunday he was going to be. Now the rotation makes sense. There's no excess. There's no surplus. Now, that's fine until you get somebody hurt. So you have to hope Jaquindon Jackson is ready to go if one of those 3 guys is not ready to go. But it made a lot of sense. I'm guessing Tank would have had a hard time being a guy that was down the rotation. And again, that's just me guessing. No, Tank didn't tell me that. I'm not close to anybody that's close to Tank's world. I sensed either he or Travis Etienne, that would have been a tough go for. Does that make sense? It would have been a tough go for the guy who was not the guy, particularly with these 2 rookies breathing down your neck. And now this is a better world for everybody.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. So to make room not to make room, but to fill Bigsby's roster spot, they signed Cody Schrader off the Rams practice squad, the running back former star at Missouri. He's in his second year.
Right.
So I kind of thought it was opening the door possibly for Jaquindon Jackson, but it isn't, at least for now.
Right.
So Cody Schrader will be the 4th back, and I'm assuming he will be inactive. But again, Gladstone dipping back into that Rams pool. Obviously, he's very familiar with Cody Schrader and obviously likes him. So Schrader now is the 4th back, and he's probably more LaQuint Allen, I would think. He's not a big guy, so he's more of I would think an air back, kind of, 3rd down guy. So I would think he's here more for that insurance on LaQuint Allen, but interesting that they Gladstone signed a guy off of the Rams practice squad to the Jaguars active 53 roster.
So we'll talk a little bit about the Jaguars. Who are they now without Tank Bigsby? Does it change them at all? I got a thought or two about that. We'll certainly get to that. We'll talk Jags and Bengals coming up in a little bit. We'll look back now at the now completed first week in the NFL. We'll get to that coming up. Who are the Bengals? That's going to be on our show today and as the days go along. SEC football, as I told you, with Jeff Dancer. I got a thought or two about the Gators. I'm going to get to that coming up in a bit as well. A lot to do on the program. We're glad you're with us. Nimnick Chevrolet, Nimnick Buick GMC, our sponsor every Tuesday. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Putting the fence in defense.
The ball comes out! The ball has come out!
Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret: Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell & Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell & Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Hey sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
I appreciate Billy Nimnick, Lee Nimnick, all my buddies at the Nimnick family dealerships. I've been buying my cars there since 82, and I'm going to keep right on doing it. It's great service. They treat you right. They stay with you after the sale, not just before it or during it. Salespeople that'll treat you right. You're going to love the organization. That's why there's a reason Nimnick not only is still around after all these years, but is still thriving. They're the best in the business. You want a car, truck, SUV van, used, new, it doesn't matter. You want Nimnik. Those two great locations. Cassett Avenue, right at Park, or right over here on Phillips Highway. Did you see the video from our booth of John Deneen popping Patrick Cavanaugh on the back?
Superstar.
And he popped him. And
I was waiting for him to give PCAV the Stone Cold Stunner.
I got to tell you this. So last night, Patrick Cavanaugh, who's the vice president for all digital and the digital department, they do such a great job, as you know. Patrick sends out just to all of us in our group text, just the isolated Deneen popping him in the back. So we're crying. This is before they edited the one that went on social.
Yeah. And
we're crying. So I showed it to Suzanne. Because we all know all the players. We get laughing so hard. I can't quit watching it because it's just got it isolated, him popping him in the back, and PK going, "What the hell?"
He has this great look.
Like, what are you doing?
Turns and is like, what's happening here?
So if you haven't seen it yet on social, on X, and I assume it's going to on Instagram too, but I saw it on X. We do the whole rundown of the calls of the big plays like we normally do from the booth. But there's one, I don't remember which play it was, but it was our John Deneen, who's a sweetheart of all sweethearts, all-time good guy, who's our spotter, popping Patrick Cavanaugh, who Patrick serves as our stats guy during the broadcast. But he's also vice president of digital for the team, and just smacking him right in the back. I mean, just right in between the
solar
blades.
Plexus,
and right between the shoulder blades. And Patrick, who's the nicest guy in the world, turns around like, "What are you doing?
What's happening?
Is there a reason I got a karate chop in the middle of the game?" So it's really fun.
And then it's hilarious because there's the second big play. And you can see John goes to do it again.
He goes for the karate chop again, yeah.
And in the video, they have it in parentheses, like, contemplate second slap. It's so great.
So you got to go see it. It's on Jaguars. It's on the Jaguar X feed, and they do a great job with all this. It was an exciting game and a lot of big plays. So check it out if you get a chance. It was really a lot of fun. All right, so Tank Bigsby's gone. How does it change the team? How does it change what you expect to see from the running back? I got a lot of thoughts on it, but I want you to go first. What you expect to see, Hayes, from the running back room in Cincinnati on Sunday?
I think Tootin gets a battlefield promotion here. I mean, I think ETN played 40 of the 66 offensive snaps. That sounds right. So I don't think it's more work for Travis Etienne. I think he maintains his role. And then I think, Bigsby's, again, this is one game, but it gives us some indication. Bigsby played 14 offensive snaps on Sunday. Tootin played 4. So I would imagine now the breakdown will be like Etienne gets 2/3 of the snaps, and then you'll have Tootin getting close to 1/3, and then you'll have LaQuint Allen, however many third down situation. He was in for 9 offensive snaps the other day, LaQuint Allen. So that'll fluctuate somewhat on how often they're in third and long. But yeah, I would think for Bashul Tootin, he'll be the biggest beneficiary in terms of playing time Sunday in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I also think he will carry the ball more than he and Bigsby did together on Sunday. I think what happened on Sunday is Travis Etienne got the hot hand, and when a guy gets the hot hand, you ride him. You ride it, and you ride the guy that is rolling. And I think and I don't know that Travis Etienne's a physical guy. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know that I want my running back. And it's a 17-game season, right? I don't know that I want my guy getting 16 carries every game. Now, I know I don't want him getting 25 carries every game. But, I mean, look, he averaged 9 yards a pop, okay? So when you're that hot, you ride the hot hand. But my guess would be, Bigsby got 5 carries in the game. Tootin got 3 carries. They got 8 between them. I would guess Tootin's going to get more than that. I would guess, and they're going to run the ball. They're committed to it. I would guess ETN 15, 16, 17, 14, 15, 16. And I would guess Bashul Tootin might get double digits. I would think that. I think you're going to see that. He's a downhill runner. They really like what they've got in him. That's no disrespect to Tank Bigsby, who they just traded, or to the phenomenal game that Travis Etienne had. And I hope he keeps right on having him. He's had a great camp, and he's earned this. I'll say it again. Everybody and their brother had them cutting, trading, or moving on from Travis Etienne. Bigsby's the better downhill runner, and they really like Tootin, who was so great at the combine. And LaQuint Allen's going to be their third down back, and he's their best pass catcher and pass pro. Everybody
they didn't pick up his option.
Right. Everybody had them moving on from Travis Etienne, but Travis Etienne, who didn't blink. He just came into the best shape of his life. He had the best camp of his life. He was ready to play. And because he's so well-liked and well-respected and appreciated, everybody was rooting for him, too. So make no mistake, Travis Etienne's their guy. But I do think you'll see more of Tootin than you did Tootin or Bigsby in game one. And I think that's how they'll play. And he plays differently. Much like Tank Bigsby, he's a physical downhill runner. That's not what Travis is. As good a player as Travis Etienne is, he's not that. He wasn't built to be. He's a three-down back, don't get me wrong. He's a good first and second. I'm not saying he's just all he can do is be an airback and play in space. He's both.
But he's a cutter.
But he's a cutter. He's not a bruising downhill runner. So
Etienne, by the way, second in the NFL in rushing yardage by a considerable distance. The Yulee Bulldozer is first at 169 yards, but Etienne at 143. And then Breece Hall was the only other back to go over 100 yards. He had 107. So Etienne right now, 36 yards better than the third leading rusher in the NFL.
All right, some other things about the game. What did you make of only one catch for Brian Thomas Jr.?
Oh, I think it's fine. I mean, that was sort of a weird trend in week one. Jamar Chase only had 2 for 26. Jefferson last night for Minnesota, he did catch a touchdown as part of that rally, but was pretty quiet. We saw Thursday night in the opening game, A.J. Brown only had 1 catch for like 8 yards, and it came basically in the final couple of minutes of the game. So I'm not a concern. I would expect that against Cincinnati that could change, and he might have 9 catches for 142 yards and a touchdown or 2. So that for whatever reason, that was kind of a weird week one trend that the superstar receiver didn't necessarily put up really even mediocre numbers.
I love the fact that they can complete 19 passes. The quarterback can play at a very efficient level. They can win the game comfortably, and they only needed him to catch 1 pass. That's what I took out of it. I love the fact that Brenton Strange could catch 4 passes on 4 targets, that De'Ami Brown can catch 4 passes, that Travis Hunter can catch 6. I'm sorry, De'Ami Brown 3 passes. That Travis Hunter can catch 6 passes. Look, number 7's getting his. There's no. I'm not worried about that.
He's not finishing the year with 17 catches.
Correct.
I mean, if he stays healthy.
Yeah, number 7's getting his, and he'll get his when you need it. Diversity and having enough guys out there. I mean, I love the way they spread the ball. I mean, I thought he spread the ball. Did a really good job. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 guys caught a pass. I love that. I love the fact that there's that many guys that can catch passes for this team. So I like where they are there. We're going to spend the rest of the week looking ahead to Cincinnati, and we'll talk more about the Bengals in a bit, who did not look great in the first game.
Very concerning, particularly since they prioritized fast starts. Correct. Now, they did win the game, but they were lucky. Cleveland missed a chip shot field goal and an extra point and lost by 1.
But before we get to the Bengals, more about the Jags and how they will respond. They really feel good. They needed a good start. They feel like they played well. I think the Jags you saw are the Jags you are going to see. They're going to run the football. Now, it's not always going to go the same. They're going to play better teams than the one they just played, and I know that. They're going to play games away from home. I know that. They're going to play games after having just played a game in 7 days. This one they hadn't played 14 days. I get all that, or more than that. But so circumstances are going to dictate that it's going to be a little bit different, Hayes. But I think the identity you started to see emerge will be their identity. See, when you're going to run the football, a lot of teams run the ball on first down. A lot of teams run the ball on 3rd and 1. All right. You know the teams that are committed to run the football? The teams that sometimes run it on 2nd and 9. That's how you know you're committed to. Everybody that's throwing incomplete pass on first down, they run it on 2nd. That's every team in the NFL, because you'd rather have 3rd and 6 than 3rd and 10. I get it. But I think the team that runs it on first down and makes 2 yards and runs it again on 2nd and 8, not every time, is a team that's committed to running the football. I do think that's who they're going to be.
It needs to be who they are, because, again, you're dealing with a franchise quarterback that I think is at a very fragile state of his career. Now, I don't think Trevor is fragile, like from a mindset standpoint. What I mean by that is this year needs to go well. Trevor, I think it's easy to give him the benefit of the doubt because of the litany of things that we've talked at great lengths about, the speed bumps he's had to overcome early in his Jaguars career, ranging from coaching to personnel around him to, a lack of a ground game. I mean, the Jaguars, this is before this past game, but entering this season, they were 24th in rushing since drafting Trevor Lawrence. So he's never had even a mediocre ground game here. And so if you want to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence, you've got to build the foundation around him, and you do that with a rushing attack that is consistent, that he can depend on week in and week out. And then as he gets confident and as he gets comfortable and secure in that scheme, then you can start to loosen it up and play a little bit more pass first if you choose to. But you've got to put that foundation around him and give him a comfort that he just hasn't had here as the Jaguars franchise quarterback. So I think particularly in these first 6 to 8 games, they are going to really emphasize the run. Get Trevor comfortable, let him know he has support around him, and I think you're going to see that really elevate his play in the second half of the year.
So it'll be fun to watch. We'll talk more Bengals as the day goes on and certainly as the week goes on. But if I'd have told you at the end of game one against an okay team, albeit one with a great pass rusher, but an okay team, that Joe Burrow would throw for 113 yards, you just thought I lost my mind, wouldn't you? 14 to 23 for 113 yards. I mean, wow.
They were bad. I mean, Chase Brown, let's talk about Cincinnati's ground game. Chase Brown's a talented back. He was 21 carries for 43 yards. Right. So he did score, but 21 for 43, that average as a team for Cincinnati right now is last in the league in rushing yards per play at 2.0. Cincinnati 31st in total yards in the league going into week 2, 28th in sack percentage. Burrow got sacked 3 times for 18 yards and got hit 7 times. So there was constant pressure. Now, again, Myles Garrett's on Cleveland, and while Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are very good players, they're not Myles Garrett. So, that there is that. But Cincinnati offensively, it's hard to say F because they did win the game, but it was definitely concerning. There's very little about what Cincinnati did against Cleveland that I think would excite them other than the fact that they were pretty good on third down. They're 8th in the league going into week 2 on third down. So Burrow, that savvy that he has, he was able to harness enough on third down to keep some drives going at a good rate. But again, when Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combined for 5 catches for 59 yards, if you're Cincinnati, anytime that happens and you win, you feel incredibly fortunate. Yeah,
so it'll be fun to watch. Now, do they have more of a breakout because they're disappointed at how they played offensively? We'll certainly talk about that as we get closer to the weekend. Let's take a break. When we come back, I've got a thought about the Florida coaching job. I'll share it with you after this.
It's the ride home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjax.com to learn more. That's bestbetjax.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Hi, we thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. What a wonderful sports family that has been. What a wonderful car family that has been. They've been selling cars and doing it the right way, and they're so supportive of sports. You can barely go to a sports venue in town, and Nimnick hasn't sponsored something there, including our Reagan baseball complex, including JU's Court and the Jumbo Shrimp, and it doesn't matter where you go. The Nimnick name is out there because they really care about sports and they care about this community. So you want to buy a car, Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett, Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway, and more important in the sports stuff, they really treat you right as a car buyer. I can promise you that. So head to Nimnick. Very proud to be a spokesperson for the Nimnick family of dealerships. Okay. I never do this. I'm not this guy.
Wow.
Okay.
It's going to be good stuff here.
I'm not. I desperately try to avoid the extreme. And I try to avoid the no way. Okay. I never do this, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't have it. Well, it's just a hunch.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hunch bred from a call or two, but it's a hunch.
Okay.
And I laughed mightily. One of my favorite jokes of throughout the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s is how Bill Cowher bought a home here. Remember the Bill Cowher home in Ponte Vedra?
Yeah.
Bill Cowher,
right, yeah.
Bill Cowher bought a home in Ponte Vedra.
That's right.
And right next to the one Tony Dungy bought, and they're going to so I always laugh at stuff like that, and I'm quick to dismiss it. But you made a really good point on the program yesterday that it's hard for Florida this year to hire the next hot guy from the Group of 5 school or Group of 6 schools. It's just hard.
Can't do it.
They've done it so much. So I asked around, not with that in mind, just asked around. Listen to me when I tell you this. If Billy Napier gets fired, and I think he's going to. Yes. I don't think if he wins the next 3 or 4 games, and he won't, but I don't think I think he's going to fire. I am not being, you know me, Hayes, I'm not extremist guy. I'm not the guy that says stuff that, oh, right, sure, that's going to happen. John Gruden will be in play for that job.
Wow.
Doesn't mean he'll get it, but listen to me again. I think and I never take, you know me, I don't go there. I don't ever go there. I roll my, how many times you see me roll my eyes when someone goes somewhere like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think John Gruden has had conversations in the past with people who care about Florida's interests. I'm not going to tell you that he's talked to Scott Strickland or the president. I don't know that. If he has, I don't know that he has. John Gruden desperately wants back in. And he desperately wants a college job. That's widely known. He doesn't want an NFL job. He wants a head college job. He has made that known on his Barstool stuff. That's not a secret.
Yeah, well, he's suing the NFL. So,
correct.
Yeah, I mean,
and might win.
Right.
So, but he doesn't. But he's made it. Maybe that's the reason. Whatever the reason is, he wants a crack at the college job. He's 62. He just turned 62 last month. He's not old. He's a young 62. He's charismatic. He's obviously a quarterback whisperer if ever there was one. He wants back. He lives in Tampa. You look. He's not taking Fordham. He's also not taking Louisville. He's not. He's not taking Wake Forest. If John Gruden gets back in, he's not going to go coach the Demon Deacon. Sorry, Wake Forest fans, he's not. Alabama's never hiring him. Alabama can't do that. That's why I told someone last night, Alabama's not hiring Lane Kiffin. That's why I think Kiffin could be in play at Florida. Alabama's not hiring him because Alabama's too serious. Nick was serious. And Kalen DeBoer, you know what Kalen DeBoer is? He's serious.
Yeah.
You know,
and Gene Stallings wasn't fun at parties.
Yeah. I mean, they're not hiring fun at parties.
Right.
I just don't believe that's the Alabama way. They could hire Sark. If Sark was willing to leave, I could see him hiring Sark because Sark's serious.
Mm-hmm.
Kiffin's not serious. I love Kiffin. I love the way he was with Feinbaum at the SEC Media Days. Alabama, all the Alabama fans loved it and laughed. They're not hiring that guy. So I think he could be in play. Well, Gruden's the same way. John Gruden, I think, wants a college job worse than ever. He's 62. The good thing is he's not 72 or 82, but he's also not 52. So he doesn't have a lot of time to choose or chase this. As I stumble over my words. He doesn't have a lot of time to do it. He's a very good football coach. He wants back in. He stayed in with, he's still in Tampa. He meets with coaches all the time. I can give you a list of guys he meets with. And it's time for Florida to do something spectacular. I don't think Florida can go hire Matt Campbell. I don't think Florida can go hire whoever we said yesterday. I don't think they can go hire Kenny Dillingham. Not this time. I don't think they can do it this time. Well, basketball did it. Well, that's basketball. It's Florida. God bless them. I had a great time winning the national championship basketball. But it's basketball.
And you hadn't missed on your last 4 basketball coaches.
Correct. I mean, you're right. The biggest one you missed on that everybody hated, Mike White, had more tournament wins than anybody in your history except for Billy Donovan.
And left on his own volition.
Correct. So I believe in all my heart, and part of it, yes, is more than a hunch, that if it happened, he would. Now, nobody knows who the coach is going to be because, in fairness to Billy Napier, he's still the coach. And in fairness to Scott Strickland, he's still got a coach. And the last thing anybody should do is say, well, Strickland's saying, I have no idea what Scott Strickland's thinking. I've had no conversation with Scott. I have no idea where his head would be on John Gruden. He is not somebody from whom I've got any information. I don't want to misrepresent Scott or anybody there. But I have talked to some folks. And I think John Gruden will be in play to be the next head coach at the University of Florida if Billy Napier is fired. And I feel strongly about that. Might not get it. They may never come together. I may be wrong, and Scott Strickland may have no interest in it. But I believe there will be a conversation.
Where would you guess he is on the totem pole?
I would guess really close to the top. I would guess. Now, again, who knows what Scott's thinking? In fairness to Scott Strickland, he's very. Who knew he was going to go hire some basketball coach from San Francisco? I had no idea. Nobody had any idea, right? I had no idea that was coming. But I would think a guy of prominence. Now, if you can get Lincoln Riley or Sark, I don't know that he's ahead of those guys. They're doing it right now. I don't know if he's ahead of Kiffin, who's doing it right now. I don't know if he's ahead of those guys, behind all those guys. But I would be very surprised, Hayes, if Eli Drinkwitz would be more prominently considered than John Gruden. And again, I want to be very clear about this. This isn't Scott or anybody at the school telling me, hey, we're thinking about Gruden. This is just what I've heard about conversations and you made the point that it stayed with me. It can't be Eli Drinkwitz, man. They hired him they've hired Eli Drinkwitz 4 times. This would be the 5th straight Eli Drinkwitz they hired. I don't think you can do it. That's what. So I would think, to your question, in my mind, again, not Scott Strickland's mind, because I don't know what he's thinking. And he's going to make the hire. He got extended. It's his hire. But I would think in the court of conversation, high on the list.
I will say this. I would be disappointed if John Gruden is the next Florida coach. I just think when you look at his career high point occurred before any of these high school seniors were born. I just don't.
That's the risk.
I just don't think he has the cachet that maybe, any high level school that would think of hiring him has. I mean, he's more, I'd say, for a 17-year-old, he's more of a celebrity than a football coach. They probably know him more for Monday Night Football than they do for the tenure that he had in with the Raiders. That was going okay, and then the scandal happens, and again, you're going to get negative recruited on that, even if Gruden is totally clear and wins his lawsuit against the NFL. The stuff that the essence of that case could certainly be used against him by Kirby Smart and Florida's rivals in terms of why would you want to go play for this guy. I think it would be I don't want to. I think
you would hate it.
I think John Gruden is a smart football coach. I think he would be way down on my list. And I would rather have Drinkwitz than Gruden.
Yeah, and
Drinkwitz is at least coaching in the SEC.
Right. And
to me, that's a big component. But yeah, for me, it would be. I mean, I'd literally
you'd hate it. Well, and by the way,
hate's too strong. I just don't think it would be a good fit, and I don't think it would work out to the. I get that the college game is more like the NFL game than it's ever been, and players are going to make their decisions on where they want to go for largely on money, like the NFL free agents do, and not so much relationships. But I still would worry about a guy that's never
right.
Has Gruden ever been a head coach in college?
Well, no, and I will say this as we wrap this. I want to get to headlines, but I'll say this: it would be so polarizing. Nobody would be in the middle on it. To your point,
without a doubt,
nobody would be in the middle on it. Everybody would love it, or oh my God, hate it.
Would you love it?
I would love it. I would love it. I would be, because I think we've hired Eli Drinkwitz 4 times in a row. And I think where Florida is now, you might hire the best one, and it may be a home run. I wouldn't want him. If I could have Lincoln Riley, I would take him.
What about Marcus Freeman?
I don't know enough about him, Hayes. I would take Lane Kiffin ahead of John Gruden.
What about Brom?
That'd be close for me. Probably Brom.
Yeah.
But I just.
So that's sort of my point. I don't think Florida would get deep enough into their list for Gruden to be. You know what I mean? Unless the search was a disaster.
But I don't even think Gruden,
which it absolutely could be.
I don't even think Gruden, in my opinion. And again, Scott Strickland made me think, Frank, are you crazy? I'm going to Hayes' point. I'm going to go get a guy that's doing it. The last thing I'm going to do is go get a guy that hadn't coached in X years and is controversial. And I have no idea where the Florida administration would be. What I will tell you is there's been conversations on the periphery.
I can see why Gruden would want it. That makes total sense.
Yeah, I can. And so, but for me, I want something different than go hire Eli Drinkwitz again. That's where I am, and I think now Lincoln Riley. I'd take Kiffin because Kiffin kind of is Gruden, and he's doing it. So but it'll be interesting. But I will say you one more time.
Great stuff.
I will wrap this up. If he gets fired, it's my opinion that John Gruden will be in play for the position in some capacity. And again, if Scott Strickland doesn't agree, it doesn't matter. But that's what I think. Let's do headlines after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Florida Gators. He made the catch. It's a duel in Death Valley.
To the house.
Florida LSU, Saturday at 7:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football, 1010 XL.
Jackson's more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog, junk removal and hauling.
Cooking with Crisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with that Jaguars trade. GM James Gladstone stays busy. Running back Tank Bigsby to Philadelphia for 5th and 6th round picks next year. Bigsby played 14 offensive snaps in Sunday's win over Carolina. The Jaguars will now go with the trio of Travis Etienne, Bashal Tootin, and LaQuint Allen.
Yeah, and they love the room. The Jaguars love the room. We knew that all along. They've got different style runners. Travis Etienne, a real complete runner, not a downhill runner as much. Tootin is that, which is what Bigsby was. And LaQuint Allen, we saw on Sunday, is going to be their third down back. So it was a crowded room. It gives Tank Bigsby an opportunity, certainly, to be the primary backup, I would think, with Shipley out, the primary backup. Certainly to Saquon Barkley, one of the best backs, if not the best back in the league. And it gives the Jaguars a little more clarity in their room. So, and by the way, 2 more picks next year, and they've shown these Saturday picks matter. If there's one thing the Jags have proven, those Saturday picks matter to them.
Without a doubt, this gives, in terms of compensation, the first place Jaguars now have 13 selections in the 2026 draft, despite not having the first rounder. So it's not just that final day of the draft, but you're now really well positioned. If this holds, if the Jaguars are good and they're the team to beat in the AFC South, you get to the deadline, you can use a 4th, 5th round pick to go and add a veteran that can really help your cause. So certainly a great job by James Gladstone getting the Jaguars in a very much a position of flexibility and a position of strength moving forward. The Jaguars have signed running back Cody Schrader off the Rams practice squad to take Bigsby's place on the 53-man roster. The former Missouri star is in his 2nd year in the league, so probably headed to a few healthy scratches coming up as he gets acclimated to the Jaguar system.
Yeah, they've said all along they want to dress 3 running backs. They dressed 4 on Sunday. Hayes, they just weren't sure who not to dress. Bigsby was their kick returner. Tootin's the guy they wanted to see run the football. LaQuint Allen was their third down back, and Travis Etienne was the starter. So they dressed 4 because they had different roles for all 4, and they weren't sure which one not to dress. I would be surprised now if they dress more than 3 running backs.
Let's get it to the week 2 opponent. Cincinnati won't have starting right guard Lucas Patrick this week against the Jaguars after he suffered a calf injury in Sunday's 17-16 win at Cleveland.
Yeah, certainly the Bengals were not very good offensively last week, and you would think that's their bread and butter. Now, they played a good defense, and but we'll see. It's an intriguing matchup, to say the very least.
In San Francisco, as we move to around the NFL, 49ers stars Brock Purdy and George Kittle are injured. Purdy has a toe and shoulder injury that could keep him out of Sunday's game at New Orleans. Kittle is being placed on IR with a hamstring injury. The Jaguars play at San Francisco on September 28th, so Kittle will be out for that contest.
Yeah, he'll be back at some time during the season, they hope, but it won't be by then. That's the longer of the 2 injuries. Make no mistake, though, Purdy's the more significant of the injuries. If they don't have Purdy for any length of time, that's a concern. He's rounded into a really good NFL quarterback.
The NFL has announced its decision on Philadelphia defensive tackle Jalen Carter, who, of course, got ejected for spitting the other night against Dallas. Carter was fined $57,000 for the incident, but will not face further discipline.
Yeah, they explained that they think missing the entire Dallas game, which he really did, he didn't play it all in the game, was his 1-game suspension. I would have made it stiffer. I'm not sure I'd bring Brendan Bett back if I was the Gators, and I'm not sure I wouldn't have suspended him for at least a minimum of 1 more game. You have a chance now to nip that spitting in the bud because it's never been more in the news than it is right now. You have a chance to stop it right now. I would do extreme. If I was the Gators and if I was the NFL, I would do more extreme things because those 2 instances are really in the news right now.
Without a doubt, in the world of college football, Billy Napier did say Brendan Bett would apologize for spitting in the loss to USF. Are you surprised that he's allowing him to continue as a Gator?
I'm certainly surprised he's not it's not a discipline with more teeth in it. Yes, that part I'm surprised by. I think there should be more teeth in it. You know, nothing surprises me anymore. I don't think they've got a bad culture down there. I also think Billy is fighting for his life here, his coaching life. He's probably not going to have Caleb Banks back this week either. That's the position he plays. So when I think about all the stuff, you know what? If he just signed a 10-year extension and they had just been to the playoffs last year and they were 2-0, I got a hunch the suspension would be stiffer. And I shouldn't say that because Billy's always been a guy who puts getting it right with players ahead of winning and losing, whether you like that or not. But that is what I think.
Napier did confirm as well in his press conference defensive lineman L.J. McCray broke his foot, so he will be out an awfully long time for the Gators.
Well, that's a significant injury because the two big portal losses they had were Jack Pyburn, against whom they play this week, and T.J. Searcy. That's two big losses. That's why losing a guy at that spot really hurts. That's a big injury. Now, they got some freshmen they like there, but that's a big injury.
The Gators game at Miami next week will be in primetime, either kickoff at 7:30 p.m. on ABC or 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Yeah, that's good. Let's have another night game on the road. After having a night game on the road, that's the worst possible thing that could have happened for Florida. You would have hoped it was at noon, but it should be at night. It's a big rivalry game. Miami's a top 5 team. Florida is a major story developing. It should be on at night.
Let's get to pop culture. James Earl Jones died at the age of 93 1 year ago today. One of the greatest actors of all time who gave us so many memorable moments, including this one.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
You just get chills. I mean, Field of Dreams, if you've never seen it, put it at the top of your list.
I've got nothing to add. I've got nothing to add to that scene, that moment. I've only watched it 200 times, and I get chills every time I hear it, and certainly anytime I watch it.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. We miss James Earl Jones for sure, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day. Today we honor Otis Redding, who was born today back in 1941. Redding died in a plane crash in 1967. He was the first artist to have a posthumous #1 record with this classic sitting on the dock of the bay. A magnificent talent. Happy heavenly birthday, Otis Redding.
Wow. Has there ever been a greater folk song written in the history of music?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Great song, great work, great headlines. We appreciate it. Hour 2's next. After this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
I left my home in Georgia.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's got quite a resume.
Ex-Special Forces tactician.
Hayes Carline.
Well-trained in hand-to-hand combat.
Behind enemy lines. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL. Activated by Pella Windows and Doors. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Folks, are you looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now, with Car Bravo and Nimnick, you'll save big and drive home with a smile. Nimnick Buick GMC can certify all makes and models. That means Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Are you trading in your old vehicle? Well, don't forget, who gives you more top dollar for your trade? Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off of Phillips Highway. And remember, there's a lot of ways to get used cars, but there's no better way than to do it with Car Bravo, and Nimnick is the place to get your Car Bravo car for you. Head there today. All makes and models. They've got them all, and they've got them at Nimnik. So what's the best place to get cars, trucks, SUVs? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnik.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Frank Frangie telling you about Awaken 180. You know, my daughter has done so well. I'm so proud of Amber. Can you believe she's lost 50 pounds in 2 months? And she's really proud of that. You can as well. Call 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Sophomore edge rusher for the Florida Gators, LJ McCray, has reportedly suffered a broken foot in last Saturday's game against USF and will require surgery for the injury. Head coach Billy Napier says McCray will miss a chunk of time. The Gators' Week 4 matchup at number 5 Miami will be a night kickoff at 7 o'clock on ABC or 7:30 on ESPN. It's 76 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Jeff Daniels are coming up in about 10 minutes to talk SEC football with us. What happened all the way around the league. Then the bottom of the hour, we have our NFL Rewind. We'll look at what's going on in the world of the NFL. But I'll start with last night. What'd you make of last night's game? Vikings come from behind with I still call him a rookie quarterback.
Well, yeah, it's his first NFL game.
He's a rookie quarterback.
It's unusual that you literally see a young quarterback blossom in front of you. But that's what happened last night with J.J. McCarthy. I mean, he looked lost, particularly in the third quarter. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going. The Bears fans were, euphoric, they're very loud, and the Vikings just didn't even look really like functional with McCarthy. And then the fourth quarter hits, and he became Tom Brady and couldn't miss, and even added a rushing touchdown from a pretty good ways out. He was magnificent in the fourth quarter. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything more out of J.J. McCarthy, and the Bears fans were just stunned at how it unfolded. And so I give Kevin O'Connell a lot of credit. He's just such a stoic coach. Like, obviously, it wasn't going well. McCarthy throws a 74-yard pick six to make it 17-6. And there was just this element. It was early third, and you could see him talking with J.J. McCarthy when he came off the field. And you could tell there was just an element of, hey, there's a lot of time left. Hang in there. It's going to be fine. And I give Kevin O'Connell a lot of credit for that win last night, because he just was able to stay very, very steady, which not all coaches are capable of in that situation. But Minnesota may have something really special in J.J. McCarthy. What he did last night, if his teammates had any doubts, those are erased. They will now follow J.J. McCarthy to the ends of the earth. And on the opposite side, Chicago has, I think, some real issues. Caleb Williams is a very athletic quarterback. He does some things, did some game things last night in terms of passes, in terms of his speed as a runner. He's impressive as an athlete, but there's a lot of things that he leaves on the table, and it cost Chicago last night.
Yeah, there are. There's something. Again, it's one game. It's one game under a new coach, and it's one game for the quarterback this year. But I agree with it. Something's off a little bit. So we'll see. All right. So we've had a week now. We've everybody's played. Impressions? Anything surprise you? Anything? And by the way, the Ravens still look like. I think if the Ravens played the Bills again, I'd pick the Ravens to beat them. Even though the Bills won the game.
Yeah.
By the way, let me say this. I don't know what the league's going to do or not do. If Lamar Jackson gets even a reprimand for pushing that dumbass fan who hit both Hopkins and him, shame on the league. I
don't think anything.
I almost think they ought to give him an attaboy. I know you can't engage with the fans. What a dumbass.
Yeah, well, the fan got
ejected for life.
And banned. So,
but that just hit me. And no, I don't think the league's going to do anything. I'm just telling you my thoughts.
Yeah, I thought it was coincidence. I don't think that had a lot to do with the Ravens choking, because obviously that Hopkins touchdown, which was a phenomenal catch, one of the best catches in week one, that looked like it put the game away. Yeah. And then the Bills did everything right after that. I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it was just sort of a coincidence. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously they're both great teams. Josh Allen was just, I mean, marvelous. He had 434 total yards in the game and 4 touchdowns. But with Buffalo, it seems like Josh Allen has to carry more of the load, and you just wonder over time, will that be hard for Buffalo to sustain? Lamar just has more help. Obviously, that played into the MVP debate last year. Lamar Jackson, first team All-Pro, but Josh Allen gets the MVP, even though it's the same voting block. And so, yeah, I do think the Ravens will have the better year. I think they're more of a contender because of I think Lamar has more help. But it was a magnificent game for sure. Yeah. And I'm really intrigued in looking at this division. What are the Colts? Are the Texans as bad as it appeared on Sunday, particularly on offense? And, the Titans they're not a contender, but if they play as hard as they did against Denver in Mile High, they will pull some upsets this year.
I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know what to think of them. I don't know what to think of them. With Vrabel, you always knew what they were. You always knew what they were with Vrabel, whether they were good, whether they were a hard-nosed, tough physical team that was good, or whether they were a hard-nosed, tough physical team that wasn't having a good year. You knew what they were. You knew their identity. You knew they were going to be a tough out. So I don't know what they are. We'll see. All right, we'll talk more NFL at the bottom of the hour. But after the timeout, let's say hello to my friend Jeff Dantzler from the Bulldog Radio Network. We'll talk Georgia. We'll talk SEC. That's all coming up.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Speed.
45-50.
Talent.
How high can you leap?
Opportunity.
Just when they needed it most.
Listen for the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game. Experience the universal difference on 1010XL.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. cigars. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
Welcome to the Bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Michael Tousell in Jacksonville at 904-425-4100.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
The Friday night lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farrah.
Time now for the SEC Update with Jeff Dantzler from the Bulldog Radio Network and the Superstations. Presented by Underwood Jewelers. Here's Frank and Jeff.
All right, let's talk a little SEC football. My buddy Jeff Dantzler checks in. Jeff, I'm not going to talk about the Gators. Is that okay with you?
Hey, that is okay, but let me just remind you of this.
Okay.
And Florida's the reference on this. Alabama in 1999, you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
They lost Louisiana Tech. What happened the next week? They went in and won in the swamp, 40-39, I think it was.
Remember it well.
And then won the rematch for the SEC championship. And here's the other thing. It's early in the year. South Florida's really good. Frank, I say this in all seriousness. If they beat Miami this week, they should be ranked number one. Who's got a better hit list?
Yeah. Well, and I don't think they'll be there, but if they beat Miami, they'll have everybody's attention. That is for sure. So there you go. All right, Jeffrey, let's talk about we always start with Georgia now, and then we'll go through the SEC a little bit. I didn't see much of the game. They won 28-6. It wasn't 38 or 48-6, but it was a good solid win. Tell me about the win.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those things. Austin Peay, they've got a very good 1AA program. This is me doing my Vince Dooley, Larry Munson here.
Okay, I get it.
But they shortened the game. Georgia turned it over twice. Austin Peay, here's what you'll love this, Frank. They have a goal line stand at the end of the half. Well, Georgia, we moved the kickoff up to 2:30. We found out at about 10 in the morning because there was a storm coming in.
Right.
So we go into an hour and 46-minute delay at halftime, coming off Austin Peay making a goal line stand against Georgia. And I just thought about our poor offensive lineman. Instead of having Kevin Butler and I were saying, yeah, usually got 12 or 14 minutes of Kirby. So they had about an hour and a half of Kirby.
Oh, goodness. God bless them for it. You're exactly right. So, all right.
No, it was just one of those, you just got to get it done with. I think big picture, and I'm sure Spurrier was like this, and Saban and all the great coaches, sometimes going into a big game, maybe that wasn't the worst thing in the world because the players will certainly be listening now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So you got their attention as the conference schedule gets set to start. All right, some other things. I'm going to start with Oklahoma. I've been impressed with John Mateer. Is he the best quarterback in the league? Is Oklahoma finally back? I mean, it was just Michigan's not as good as they've been, but I thought they handled them. What do you think of the Sooners, Jeff?
I think Oklahoma's really good, but it's one of those deals, Frank. I think we can agree last year Florida, Georgia, and Oklahoma had the three toughest schedules.
Right.
And I mean, I think it's, in terms of the league at least, I think it's probably the same this year. But I think this is one of those deals with OU. They could go, say, 8-4, 9-3, and be one of the 10 best teams in the country. But their schedule is just so brutal. That was a huge win for them. And you're right. It's not vintage Michigan maybe, but it's still Michigan. So to me, I agree with you. I thought they were my team of the week in the SEC.
Every team they play in the SEC is ranked right now. Of all their entire SEC schedule is ranked. So you are exactly right about that. LSU, same thing as with Georgia. They won 23-7. It wasn't 43-7. Maybe looking ahead to that Florida game a little bit. How good's LSU? Is LSU back, or is LSU kind of trying to get back, Jeff?
I got LSU number one in my Bulldog Illustrated poll.
Okay.
I think I think their top end talent is the best. They've got a great quarterback. Brian Kelly is at least a very good coach. That Louisiana Tech one, Frank, if we were pros, Athens is in Clark County, the other Clark County in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
To me, La Tech catching 24.5 between Clemson and Florida. That was an easy little LSU overlook. Just take care of business there. But I do think the Bayou Bengals are really, really, really good.
I will tell you this, and you'll find out this week because we're going to pick the games a little bit this week, and I want to ask you Georgia, Tennessee, but for now, boy, Tennessee looks good to me. Now, listen, I know in that offense when you play that fast, you're going to roll over the bad teams even more than other teams are going to roll over bad teams. I get it. Boy, Tennessee looks like a good team to me, Jeff.
Yeah, they really do, and I think with Joey Aguilar, he is a great fit for Josh Heupel's offense. And he's had a couple of quarterbacks like that. For instance, in 2022, when Hendon Hooker came in and had that terrific season. They don't really have the one elite back this year, it looks like, but they got two or three really good ones, very good at wide receiver. The other big thing that Josh Heupel's done, and give him credit, he's a quote-unquote offensive guy, but he has gotten them so much better on the line of scrimmage. And, Frank, going back to, Spurrier's glory days with Urban Meyer and Vince Dooley and Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, you know this. It starts up front.
That's right.
And the position, to me, at least in the 21st century, when the SEC took that step and became clearly the dominant league in college football, there was one position that separated it. It was the defensive line.
Yep.
Those big guys that could run. And I think with Heupel in Tennessee, you saw it last year, they started getting those guys. So I'm with you. I think Tennessee is really, really, really good.
I agree with you. By the way, quarterback and D-line, if I could have five great players, give me a really good quarterback and four good defensive linemen, I think you're 100% right. Ole Miss Kentucky hung around with Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you make of that game? What do you make of those two teams as they move forward, Jeff?
Well, I think when you look at the league, how about the teams we thought were at the bottom? Kentucky gives Ole Miss everything they could handle. Mississippi State beats Arizona State. Then Vanderbilt, what was it, 34 in a row they scored against Virginia Tech? And I mean, Arkansas looks pretty good too. So the teams that we kind of thought were going to be the bottom four, I think have all done a lot of things to give their fans cause for optimism.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The bottom of the league isn't the bottom very like it once was.
No.
All right, let's get to some games. Let's get to some key games. Alabama is at home against Wisconsin. You never know what you're getting. Sometimes Wisconsin's lousy, but sometimes they're physical up front, particularly on the offensive front. So I don't know a lot about Wisconsin. Alabama, I think, is better than they looked against FSU. What happens on Saturday afternoon or Saturday at noon, Jeff?
I think Alabama wins just because of the athleticism. I think for Wisconsin to win, they'd probably have to go +2 in the turnover column. And you're exactly right. They're really big and strong and physical up front. But I just think Alabama's got more raw talent. And, who knows? Maybe that loss to Florida State in some way will be a good thing for them. And it definitely got everybody's attention. And you give 85 young men a cause when everybody's telling you you're no good. We've seen teams rally from that before. So I like Bama on Saturday.
I've talked so much about Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida LSU. This one slipped under the radar a little bit for me, but it's a good one. A&M at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Who do you like here, Jeff?
I think skinny, the Irish in that one, very skinny. They went down and won in College Station last year. They were off this past Saturday since they played Miami in that Sunday night game. But I like A&M by just a hair. I'm sorry, Notre Dame by just a hair. My thing with A&M is still with this. They've got a lot of things going for them, including money. They've finished in the top 10 twice in the 21st century. Johnny Manziel in the COVID year. So they kind of epitomize the big hat but no cattle.
Yeah.
They got to go out and prove it. And I think Marcus Freeman's a heck of a coach, too. So I'm going to take the Irish there, but tight.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it's very tight. And to that end, Marcus Freeman's a guy that I wonder, I think Florida's job's going to be open. I think some other jobs are going to be open. I wonder if he gets in play. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, because he's a good coach now. He's a guy that's under the radar until the last year or two, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I can even tell you this. Emily used to tell me I was annoyingly right sometimes. So we played Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl in 2020.
Right.
Beat them on a last-second field goal. He was Cincinnati's defensive coordinator. And I remember Kirby leading up to it, talking about how good Cincinnati's defense was. I was so impressed with him, and they kept panning to him on the sidelines. This guy was really cool. He was calm the whole time. And I just thought he was really, really sharp. And I was thinking to myself, this is the type of guy, if something happened, I could see Kirby bringing him on staff. Well, 11 months later, he's a head coach at Notre Dame.
Great
I mean,
point.
he becomes their defensive coordinator. Then Kelly leaves. He has this meteoric rise and has just done a terrific job. So to me, he's a top 5 or 10 coach. And, I mean, if I were Florida, and if Napier's gone, he would definitely be one of the top 2 or 3 guys I'd be calling. I don't know if he'd leave, but he'd be one of my first 2 or 3 phone calls.
Yeah, I'd imagine he will be. Vanderbilt travels to South Carolina. Can the Commodores hang around with the Gamecocks, or are the Gamecocks and their quarterback too good here?
Maybe a little bit, but this is one of those deals. South Carolina's had Vandy's number through the years, so I think I got to go with the Gamecocks here.
Arkansas is on the road at Ole Miss. Arkansas is better. Why do I think this is a pretty good game? You get a sense it's a pretty good game here?
Yes, I do. When that number's sitting at 8.5, that just generally tells me that Vegas thinks, that favorite's probably going to win, but it might be a little bit tighter. So I could see a very similar game to Ole Miss and Kentucky. And, hey, Sam Pittman's got a good quarterback, and this guy, he was on Kirby's staff for a few years. He is a tried-and-true, outstanding blue-collar offensive line coach. So Arkansas is going to take some fight to Ole Miss. And the thing with Ole Miss is, Frank, as we know with all those transfers there, they might not start playing their best football till the middle of the year.
Right.
You get 29, 30 new guys in. They're all trying to figure each other out at this point.
Yeah, that's a great point. So it'll be. I think Ole Miss wins, but I think it's close. All right, 2 games of the weekend. The 2 best games of the weekend, the ones everyone's talking about. We'll start in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge on a Saturday night is treacherous. I think the Gators are reeling. I think they're shocked by how badly they went. that game went. Billy Napier is right back on the hot seat. Everybody wants him out. Do they have anything left for LSU? LSU too good? Do the Gators hang around? I think you and I both think LSU is going to win that game, but how close is it in your mind, Jeff?
I think Florida can hang around. I think LSU's just got a little bit too much, especially when Nussmeier gets that passing game clicking. I do think for Florida, though, I think it's a good thing that they're going on the road. Sometimes when times are bad, as my favorite pro wrestler, Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, used to say, hard times, Daddy. When you're going through some of those hard times, sometimes getting away is a good thing because it pulls you together. I do think Florida can hang around because I do think Florida has a really, really talented roster, but I just think LSU's got more material. And honestly, I'm not trying to take a shot at anybody. I just think LSU's better coached as well.
Oh, my God, way better coached. I don't think there's any question about that. Finally, the game of the weekend. Boy, oh, boy, Tennessee at home. I like the Vols in this game. Jeff, have I lost my mind? Because I've always said I don't think there's anybody that has better play. I don't think there's anybody in the country with more good players than Georgia. I think Georgia has more good players than anybody in the country. But Tennessee at home, I think Tennessee might get them here. What do you think about this game?
Well, and for Tennessee, I was talking to our good friend John Adams a couple of days ago, and they got over the hump with Florida. They got over the hump with Alabama. Georgia's beaten them 8 in a row, so that's the next deal for them. Another thing about Tennessee, and I'm still an old Karma and Mojo guy, the way everything went down with Prima Donna Nico, they're due some good mojo. And I think Aguilar, he might be a better fit for the offense there. I will say this. I can't pick against Georgia. I think the Dogs will need 2 touchdowns and to win the turnover battle to win the game. By the way, and always look at the line. That line opened Sunday morning, Georgia by 7.5. It's already been bet down to 3.5.
How about that? Already bet down to 3.5. I will be on a plane to Cincinnati. I'll have the iPad out, Jeff, watching that one. I can't wait to watch it, Tennessee and Georgia. Fun week coming up in the SEC. My man Jeff Dantzler does a great job talking with us every Tuesday at 5:15. Jeff, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Hey, love you, buddy. And by the way, great win for the Jags, and always enjoy listening to you. If I can't get you I'm in St. Simons right now. If I can't get you on the regular radio, we always pick you up on the Sirius XM. You're the best.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Thanks very much, man. My buddy Jeff Dantzler, the mayor of St. Simons, by the way, in case you're wondering. Great work as always, Jeff. We certainly do appreciate it, as we always do. Boy, it's going to be a fun week in the SEC. Also in the NFL. We'll take a break. When we come back, Hayes has our NFL Rewind, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest of Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest of Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to restofprosneflorida.com. That's restofprosneflorida.com.
Rest of Pros.
Hi, I'm John Haney from Clearwater Gutters and Drainage. After heavy rains, the problems are obvious. Mulch blown out of your beds, water standing around your foundation, and that fancy new crater back behind your bushes. Let Clearwater Seamless Gutters help you solve the problem spots.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters.
And drainage, too. Find out more at clearwaterjacks.com.
Florida heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Jacksonville is my hometown and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CARD Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show as we kick off our first edition of the NFL Rewind as we look back on the significant games from this past week. And JJ, let's get started in Brazil.
Herbert's throwing, fading back, over the middle. Johnston, touchdown Chargers.
I thought this was the most impressive victory of Week 1. Honestly, the Chargers, who have always been, a little brother to Mahomes in Kansas City, the Chargers stunned the Chiefs 27-21 Friday night in Brazil. Justin Herbert looked sensational, completing 25 of 34 passes for 318 yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, a passer rating of 131.7. He also rushed for 32 yards, including a nifty run for a first down late that put the game away.
Well, the question here is, the Chiefs are going to be fine, by the way, okay? The question here is this the year the Chargers grow up, to your point? That's the story that came out of this game. Is this the year the Chargers are legit? They got a great coach. They got a coach who won a national championship in college and has been to a Super Bowl in the NFL. He's one of the best football coaches in the world, right? He's one of the best football coaches in the world. Can he make the Chargers legit? That's what I took from there. Is I know what the Chiefs are, win or lose. Is this what the Chargers are?
Yeah, and it was a rough night for Kansas City. They lose receiver Xavier Worthy, who was awesome and one of the only bright spots in a Super Bowl loss to Philly. They lose him to a shoulder injury. I'm not worried about KC, but I will say this: you're now playing the Eagles in Week 2. So Kansas City is staring 0-2 in the face, in my opinion.
Yeah, no question. But there's 17 games, and they may not be 15-2 or 14-3, but I think Kansas City's still a very good team. You're right, but that's a good point. They're already down Rashee Rice. Now they're down. Yeah, I hear you. I agree.
Let's get it to Buffalo.
From 32 yards, Prater made it, and the Bills open their final season in this stadium with a stunning comeback win.
This was just amazing. The Bills rally past the Ravens 41-40, overcoming a 15-point deficit midway through the fourth quarter. Bills quarterback Josh Allen, simply magic, accounting for 424 total yards and 4 touchdowns. An amazing performance by the reigning MVP.
Yeah, what happened, though, is that the problem is because he had to kick that game-winning field goal, Matt Prater was late for shuffleboard at the retirement home the next day. What a cool story. Did you see the story where some of the players thought he was a special teams coach? They thought he was
No way.
Yeah, some of the players thought he was the new special teams coach. He's an old dude. But that was a great performance by Josh Allen. There's no question. And look, I still think the Ravens might be the best team, but that's two really good teams, man. And Josh Allen is a magnificent player.
Derrick Henry ran for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game for the Ravens, but a fumble opens the door for Buffalo. The Ravens, a great team, but they do have now a stigma of being chokers.
Yeah, until you don't finish the job every time, and every time means you got to win a Super Bowl, Hayes. Until you don't finish the job every time, there's some debate as to whether or not you can finish the job, right? I hear you. I think the Ravens are going to have a special year, though. I really do.
Let's get it to L.A.
Stroud. And he's got him underneath. It's called by Google. He fumbles the ball, and it's loose. And it's recovered by the Rams.
The Los Angeles Rams take down the Houston Texans 14-9. Houston held to just 265 total yards and turned it over twice.
I'm not. The Texans were really good 2 years ago. Last year, they really benefited from a really bad division. And the Jaguars fired their coach. The Titans are in the year of a first-year coach, and we're getting rid of their quarterback. The Colts had no idea what to do with quarterback. It won't be like that this year. The AFC South is going to be very interesting. I mean, you ever think about how dysfunctional the other teams in that league, in that division were, including ours? It'll be interesting to see the AFC South. We'll see if Houston can hold off everybody.
And Houston has a tough game this week, Monday night against Tampa Bay. So Houston could come into Jacksonville in week 3 0-2. That would not be the least bit surprising.
That'd be okay. That'd be
Absolutely. Right. But they've got work to do on the offensive side of the ball. Let's get it now to Lambeau Field.
2nd and 10. His Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out. He's got him. His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
The Packers look dominant in a 27-13 win over the Lions. Detroit scores a garbage touchdown in the final minute.
Here's my thought. Again, I know what Green Bay is going to be. They are going to be a Super Bowl contender. Our friend Pete Prisco, who knows the league awfully well, has picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Whether I've got them going that far or not, we'll see, but I think they're going to have a good team. The question I have is, has the clock struck midnight on the Lions? That's my question. The Lions, a team that is rarely very good, look like they found gold for a while. Has that gold gone? And I think we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. They lost both coordinators, and certainly that was a very lethargic effort in Green Bay. Rare to see this Detroit team that still has a lot of talent be down 27-6 with less than a minute left. And again, they scored a touchdown, and with 50 seconds left, it was meaningless. Tampa Bay edges Atlanta as the Falcons miss a 44-yard field goal that would have sent the game to overtime. So Baker Mayfield and those savvy Bucks 1-0.
Yeah, caught a break. They caught a break with them. People don't miss 44-yard field goals in this league very often.
In a dome.
Right. But Tampa Bay's one of those teams that can win ugly and look ugly, and you look up and they've won, and I think that's how they're going to be. You're right. Houston, Tampa Bay this week should be very interesting.
And that rookie from Ohio State's going to be awesome.
Without a doubt.
Book already had 2 touchdowns.
That's right, 2 touchdowns for the first-round receiver. Cincinnati survives in Cleveland, beating the Browns 17-16. The Bengals were fortunate. Cleveland misses an extra point and a 30-yard field goal.
Joe Burrow threw for 113 yards. Joe Burrow, some people within the last 2 or 3 years thought was the best quarterback in the league, not just one of the best. I don't think that's the conversation anymore. The emergence of Josh Allen and Lamar, even these last few years, to go with Patrick Mahomes, I don't think anybody has Joe Burrow first or second anymore. But for the longest time, people thought he was one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the league. That he threw for 113 yards in that game. Now look, Cleveland can rush the passer, I get it. But Cincinnati's a very interesting team, no doubt.
Yeah, they're limping. Going into the Jaguars matchup, they're limping on offense, and we thought it would be the opposite. We thought they'd be limping maybe on the defensive side because they've struggled on that side. But, boy, the offense did not look good, which was really interesting because Zach Taylor wanted them to play in the preseason and shake off the rough starts to seasons they've had in years past. They got the win, but very ugly fashion. We will wrap it up with last night's action. The Vikings stunned the Bears with a fourth-quarter comeback down 17-6. 21 points in the fourth quarter from rookie J.J. McCarthy. And Minnesota gets a huge road win.
Yeah, Minnesota's got a good team. Great receivers, really well coached. Very good defensive coordinator, got an edge to him. The question is, will they have quarterback play? Last night it looked like they're going to. If J.J. McCarthy's legit, then they will push the Packers, Hayes, and they have a really good team, and boy, that makes that a really good division, so it'll be fun to watch. Nice job as always talking NFL football. We'll be back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Week 1 of the NFL season in the books with the Vikings beating the Chicago Bears 27-24 at Soldier Field on Monday night. Look ahead to week number 2. It begins on Thursday at Lambeau Field when the Green Bay Packers take on the Washington Commanders, 2 playoff teams from last season, and both won their season opener as the Packers took down the Detroit Lions and the Commanders beat the New York Giants. Green Bay is a 3.5-point favorite, minus 175 on the money line. The Commanders are plus 150 with an over-under at Lambeau at 48.5, over at even money, and the under at minus 120. Looking at futures for Super Bowl 60, the Buffalo Bills are plus 500 to win the title, Baltimore plus 650. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Nothing like a hot shower. Wait, why is the water up to my ankles?
It's the dreaded clogged shower drain. Hair, soap scum, and last week's mystery goo.
It's touching my toes!
Don't panic. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. We'll tackle plumbing, septic, and even the nastiest shower clogs. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell and Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell and Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Summer heat has settled in, but don't sweat it. Big Chief Tire has your back with $50 off all AC services. Whether your system needs a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert team will keep you cool and road ready all season long. With 6 locations around Jacksonville, trusted service is always nearby. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval Drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with the Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable. And she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy. And it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the Jags O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, today we talked about the Tank Bigsby trade. That's how we started the program. And good luck to Tank as he goes to Philadelphia. And the Jags now have their running back room set. They'll start Travis Etienne. Bayshul Tutin's going to get some carries in regular situations. LaQuinn Allen's going to be their third down back. They brought up they picked up Cody Schrader as their fourth back. And the Jags will move forward with that running back room. We talked about the Gator coaching job. I'll say it again. I have no idea how the AD feels, but I think if they fire Billy Napier, I think John Gruden's name will be prominent in the coaching search. Might not get it, might not get an interview. The AD, Scott Strickland, may think, Frankie, you've lost your mind. There's no chance I would do it. But in my opinion, he will be in play for the job in some capacity. So we'll see. We talked about that earlier in the program. We talked SEC football with my friend Jeff Dantzler from the Bulldog Radio Network, and we did our first NFL Rewind of the year. We look back at the week in the NFL. All right. So we'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about Florida. Jag Cincinnati, because we've talked about it already for 2 days. Can the Gators win in Baton Rouge?
I mean, they can, but to me, it's a 1 in 10. They have like a 10% chance of winning the game.
I think now there's no chance they can win. Other people say, well, they got a better chance to win now. No. I think their best chance to win would be to have beaten USF soundly and to show up in Baton Rouge with confidence and with LSU thinking they might be pretty good too. So LSU plays a little tighter because I now think LSU plays loose and free and easy. They got a team on the ropes. There's nothing like finishing off a team when you got them on the ropes, and they're going to be playing Colin Baton Rouge, and that place is going to be going crazy, and there's going to be 90,000 of them, and about 4 of them are going to be sober, and I think they're going to be just crazy, and I just think it's going to be I think it could be a bloodletting. Now, look, I think Florida's got some dudes on defense. I still think that. So I think there's enough dudes on defense that LSU isn't going to 38, but I'd be surprised if that game's not 27-13, somewhere there in the like.
The only caveat I would say to it in terms of Florida's chances is I do think they have a better chance to win this game than they had to win the year that Chris Leak went in there with Zook as a true freshman and they beat Saban and LSU.
Theatric facing game.
Yep, theatric facing, and caught a couple screen passes, took them to the house for touchdowns. And what was the final, 14-10 or something?
They won by
like
7.
That? Okay, so maybe 14-7 or something like that, 13-6.
They won by 7 points, I know that.
Yeah. But it was a low-scoring game, and that was amazing that Florida was able to win that. I want to say LSU went on to – was that the year LSU won the title? I was going to say,
that was 03. They won the title.
So Florida, with a true freshman and Ron Zook as coach, went into Baton Rouge and defeated a Nick Saban LSU team that went on to win the national title.
Right.
If that can happen – then Florida can win Saturday. So it wouldn't be the most improbable. But, yeah, I mean, I would take LSU and give the points. I think, I think could it be a game going to the fourth quarter? Maybe. But ultimately, I don't think Florida can score.
Yeah, and see,
I just don't think and Lagway might shake off some of the rust, and eventually they'll get Dallas Wilson back, and maybe he makes a difference. But I just think their offensive structure is so flawed that I just don't think they're going to handle crowd noise and everything that comes along with that. They committed a bunch of penalties against USF. I have to think the athleticism in the environment of LSU is going to keep that undisciplined play going. And I just again, I think LSU's really talented.
And I'll say this: keep an eye. And now again, everyone says, okay, you don't fire a guy after 2 games, and I agree with that. But the noise was so loud after the USF lost, both Saturday night and Sunday and whatnot. If they lose again, that noise is going to be loud. I don't care how good LSU is. I don't care what the venue is. The noise is going to be loud.
There's no moral victories in your 4th year.
Right, correct. But that's right. But if you'd have beaten USF, particularly if you'd have beaten them soundly, then you go lose 31-24 at LSU. Nobody's
still on track.
And nobody's mad at you.
Nobody's mad.
Nobody's mad at you because there's nobody mad at you. Now you lose 31-24 at LSU after USF. It's coming.
He's under 500 as a coach,
right?
In his 4th year.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
So if you lose this, no matter what, no matter how valiantly you play, if you lose again, and which I think they're going to, and then you lose again at Miami, which I think they're going to, and then you lose again at home against Texas, at some point, Scott Strickland's going to say, "Listen, I can't keep taking these emails. I can't keep, social media. I can't." At some point, he's got no choice. That's what happened with Mullen. He had no choice at some point to do something, and I don't care if there's an interim on staff.
I don't know why that's such a big thing. I mean, if they do lose their next 3, so you've now lost 4 in a row, you're 1-4. Are you really telling me you can't fire this guy?
Yeah, and by the way,
because you don't feel comfortable there's an interim there? Who cares?
Yeah.
Bozo the Clown can be the interim at that point. Just put a Florida jacket on Bozo the Clown and have him go be the interim coach.
Yeah, maybe just like the polo, the coaching shirt.
Sure.
Bozo. You and Baloo.
We don't have an interim. Are you kidding me?
By the way, I was thinking about this too. We talk about Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
Let Chris Doering be the interim.
Chris Doering called ball play. How about Shane Matthews?
Shane Matthews.
Shane could do it.
Perfect interim.
Could Shane be an interim and still be the color commentator?
It can't be worse than the guy they have now.
You could do both, couldn't you? How about that? Could be the color commentator and the interim coach.
I'd love it.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
We're not happy. We're not a happy lot
feel
around
for you
here.
guys.
We're just not a happy group of people. I know you're always a happy guy, so you have to just deal with us unhappy people. Is where we are. Tank Bigsby.
Isn't complaining fun though? I mean, I think.
Well, it's all you got when you suck. Okay.
I think 1A is complaining, 1B is pouting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I agree, but here's the deal: if you suck, you got 2 choices: suck and not complain, or suck and complain. B is better than A, right?
Do you realize a year ago?
Pouting is great, by the way.
Pouting's the best.
If you like complain and pout in the same sentence, then you had a really good
I am
day.
the best pouter ever. And, I'm an only child putter. I got siblings, but I'm an only child putter. If you're a Jaguar Noel, you went 6-23 a year ago.
Right.
Okay? They're 3-0 this year.
How about that?
They got half the wins that they got a year ago.
That's true.
And it's September 9th.
That's a great point. That is a great point. Half the wins. Wow. All right.
Think about, last year was an absolute disaster.
If those
and you know what's crazy about this thing, right? And I get what you guys are at because I was there a year ago. But Billy Napier's the type of guy who goes in the Baton Rouge and wins on Saturday night.
Yeah.
He is. They win games when you count them out.
You're right. In many years, you're right. I think now they're to the point that they now know. Because there was still hope then. I think they now know it's over. I'd be surprised if you get much out of them on time. We'll see.
Because that was the real thing that impressed me a year ago when it looked like it was over. Yeah. The Florida kids still played hard in 2024.
I agree.
They played hard.
Yeah, I think they like him. I think they will. But in retrospect, Hayes and I talked about this. It was a home win against LSU. It was a home win against Ole Miss.
Those are great wins, Frank. I'm sorry. Those are great wins.
Yeah. FSU was no good. Tulane was no good. So anyway, Tank Bigsby, surprised?
I thought we figured all along it was going to be he or ETN. I figured it would be ETN because of the contract, the contract with final year and making more than $6 million. But when they didn't use him on Sunday, I was sitting next to Mark Duff, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? They brought in Allen Jr. We talked about that on Duval Rundown that morning.
Right.
Would they bring him in on 3rd down? You know what I think it came down to? He's not a Liam Cohen back. He's not great in pass protect, and he can't catch the football. Yeah. And he also was a little, was he kind of the bulky Peterson guy? I heard the reports about he was the first one who ran into the tunnel instead of celebrating with his teammates. Do you want that kind of hovering in the locker room? Reminds me of Leonard Fournette a little bit when they, got rid of him. He couldn't even get a bag of balls. after 1,700 yards from the line of scrimmage, going back 6-7 years ago. So not shocked, but yeah, a little bit surprised because of the time. But I think it's huge to get a 5th and a 6th.
Yeah, so we'll
all that coming up tonight and much more.
All right, Rick Beluga's into the night. You'll hear a lot of Jaguar talk and more, folks. That's our program. We'll be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.